I say we get into it. I'll go ahead and start with a quick recap so that everyone can remember what happened last time. This is session 6. So in session 5, um, after a dazzling victory in the Coliseum, all of you guys, our party of explorers, plummeted through a trapdoor into Tom's throne room, which was this vast domed chamber centered around a shimmering pool. There, Tom, the ruler of the island, greeted you guys, surrounded by his loyal top 8. And you guys tried to win his favor and tried to compellingly convince him that you all saw him as your number one friend, but didn't quite work out. I'm trying to remember someone. Well, I know certainly Butterbeard didn't help.
As it didn't help either at all.
Yeah, Butterbeard refused to say that anyone but Polaris was his best friend. Yeah, I think you weren't quite convincing enough and so your reward was yet another drop into the prison cell where you met Liv, our guest star and helpful NPC. Liv, last name Journal, Liv Journal, was a long imprisoned Kuotoa who'd been there for decades. She had somehow managed to stay strong when the rest of the Kuotoa, their courage had failed, and she held to the truth and knew what was going on here and knew the truth about Tom and refused to give in. And so she helped you guys and told you all about it. And she told you that Tom was a false god that was constructed by the collective belief of these Kuotoa, and it was this kind of unique magic that they were given by the primordial beings. And she also told you guys where you could find a scroll that had proof of all of this. And so you guys contrived a plan and executed it, honestly, flawlessly. I don't think anything about it went wrong. And you guys managed to steal the scroll and bring it back. And under the guise of coming back to tell Tom that he was your number one friend, you instead put on a performance, a grand tribute before the entire island on his magical scrying pool, where you revealed all of this history from the scroll. And as everyone realized, this was like an inverse elf situation where an elf, everyone starts to believe in Santa and it could make them stronger. As they all stopped believing in Tom, he got weaker and weaker until he completely disappeared. And right as he was, finishing unraveling and the illusion was fully shattering, Ghana reemerged from his ring and took the opportunity to speak to everyone and encourage them that they don't need some kind of false deity and that they can lead themselves. And as that happened, the illusion was fully shattered. The island was free. All the scrying pools that Tom was using to communicate and kind of control everyone stopped working as his magic faded away. And all eyes from everyone on the island, well, whether in person or, just in their minds, were on you guys for what to do next. And that is where we left off. As we start today, you guys are in Tom's chambers, and you guys, you have the top 8 there in front of you, and Tom has just disappeared. And so the top 8 look to you, and in a moment of almost disbelief, Stagrim says, so, I assume that means you guys will be our new, I guess, what are you, kings and queen? Or you guys are going to lead us now? You guys are going to stick around and guide us and tell us what to do?
No, not at all. I believe that you 8 should rule this island as an oligarchy.
Oh. Which one of us gets to be like the number one, though?
No one. You have to come to decisions and choose what path you would like to take forward for your people. I think that you don't need a number one anymore. You all will rule together and make decisions together and lead your people into a productive, well-meaning society.
You can see them all just like really trying to wrap their brains around this concept. And they're like, yeah, yes, yep, that makes sense. And Talik kind of steps forward and he's kind of cool and suave and he's wearing like a leather jacket. And he's like, so we're like equals, but I'm like the number one amongst the equals, right? Like I'm the leader of the equals, is what you're saying?
No, you all have the same amount of power and need to come to decisions together, a majority decision together.
What happens if we're split 4-4? And Talik is like, well, obviously Snap doesn't get a vote. Snap doesn't even know how to talk. Snap, the little ghosty fish, comes back in and is like, just looks really angry at him and is like raising his hand to show that he can raise his hand.
I look to Liv. Liv's there, right?
Mm-hmm. Liv is there.
So what if you add
Liv vanished.
That would be really sneaky. I looked to Liv and I said, what if you add one more to avoid that issue so that you all will always have a tiebreaker? Liv, is this something you'd be willing to do to join this group?
Liv looks at you and looks back at the group kind of warily and says, top 9, it does have a nice ring to it. I think we could get used to that. And I suppose we need someone on this council who has at least a little bit of common sense in their brains. I don't want to rule, but I'll join just so I can kind of add some guardrails to this whole island. I'll do it. And the other 8, I'll kind of look at you. And I think they'll go for it. So with that, you hear kind of a loud noise outside. There's just this huge, you just hear murmuring and more and more chatter. It's like what I would imagine it's like to be in the green room outside of like a stadium-sized concert. Like you guys are in this room and there's just this huge crowd of people that are gathering outside of this cave. And there's kind of this path. You remember this is where Itchy came down. So Stagrim looks at you guys and he says, well, we probably need to go and address the rest of the island and let them know what's going on. And the 9 now kind of lead you guys up through this kind of winding tunnel and out onto a balcony that kind of overlooks a valley in front of, kind of between this mountain that you guys are inside of. The coliseum was on top of this mountain. You guys were kind of deep inside the heart of it. And there's this kind of balcony that kind of juts out from the side of this mountain, and it overlooks, just in the distance, you can see the village that everyone lived in. And there's this clearing where there's like a couple hundred of these Kuotoa that are all gathered, and they're just kind of looking and waiting for someone to tell them like what's going on. They've never, and for many of them in their lifetime, they have at least no memory of ever being without this live stream of content telling them what to do and how to live. And so they're all just looking to you guys for direction. And the 9 look to you guys and say, I think you guys should probably address them.
How does the pool work?
Oh, does it? One of them takes out their scrying pool and he looks at it. I know they had some kind of scrying magic in them, but he holds it in front of you. Maybe you can tell. It looks like it stopped working when Tom disappeared. Must have been, I guess maybe it was powered by his magic. I mean, we gave him his magic. Maybe there's a way that we could reverse engineer it. I don't know.
Maybe we better not to have it. You guys were pretty focused on the pools all the time.
Yeah. I was thinking about going back to we had these old ones that were like clamshells that could open and close that were a little bit more simple. And I was thinking about going back to one of those anyway. Probably for the best.
Is it possible for you to believe in Tom again, but only to tell us how it worked?
No, Ghana. It's
no, that sounds bad.
That's not a good idea.
You see like Talik in the back who really liked being Tom's number 1 is just like realizes that's a really good idea, and he's just sitting there and like his face is turning red as he tries so hard to concentrate. It doesn't seem like it's working. It's like a big popped red, like a blood vessel in his eye from trying so hard.
Pop.
We could learn how to do it. Perhaps it could come in handy later.
What if you brought one of their pools with you, Ghana, and you could study it, see if there's any residual magic to be found in it?
You're welcome to take it. He like takes one of the other ones and sips it a little bit. I think it's just regular water, but I mean, we're not the most keen in terms of Arcana. You're welcome to take one. We've got hundreds of them all around the community.
I would take one.
And so you guys are now on this balcony with hundreds of Kuotoa looking to you guys for, what just happened? Where is our leader? Why do we all feel a little bit different? Why did our scrying pool stop working? Who's going to address them?
Polaris nudges Doc in like the waist. Go.
I would kind of reluctantly step forward and clear my throat. Dear citizens of this island, you saw the false god, Tom, and what he did to you, constantly controlling you, constantly distracting you, and it is time to step forward. You must, as a people, unite under the new top 9 and work together. Not just with them telling you what to do, but you going to them and speaking to them and sharing about your needs and concerns. And then top 9, you all must work together to restore this island to the greatness that it had before it. Oh, nope. I don't want to use the word greatness. Anyway, I did. So
Make the island great again.
Make the island great again.
Make the island great again. Oh, no affiliation.
Definitely not clipping that. Just kidding.
Not clipping
Too
that
late.
one, guys.
Too late.
So you could roll for persuasion to see how compelling the speech is.
I'd be helping him in this process of like using minor illusion to like have subtitles essentially very largely behind us. Well, not behind us, but like above us, so that people far away
subtitles.
They can add that emphasis, add that engagement.
All
Plus,
right.
who knows? Maybe some are hard of hearing. I don't know. I don't want to
Persuasion.
Yeah, you're just trying to be inclusive.
Yeah, come on, guys.
All right, here we go. That's a 23.
23. That's not bad at all. So you hear from the crowd, everyone starts cheering and clapping, and they all say, "Yes, we will do exactly what you told us to do. We will follow your words to the letter. We will be obedient followers of your direction." I think that was the takeaway we were supposed to get from this, is that we should continue to follow the direction of our leader verbatim and think only the thoughts that you have given us. Hooray! We will follow the 9 and their words implicitly. Wonderful. And the 9 look at you and they say, great. We now have an island of unthinking followers. This is wonderful. They're going to follow us to the letter. This is great. And you see, like, kind of starting to come around, and he's a little bit excited. And he's like, yeah, maybe this could be better than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought we were going to have to make this pretty democratic, but this is feeling pretty good. Great. Thanks, man. You want some help getting back to your boat?
That would be ideal, yes.
The day democracy died.
And so the people start to disperse, and they all seem fairly content with this new strategy of following the leadership of the 9. And I guess actually before they disperse, Liv steps forward, and Liv says, look, I am one of the 9 now, and I realize most of you, maybe none of you, know me, or few of you remember me, but I have been with you and fighting along your side for decades, even from the prison, and I just want you to know I will be your voice amongst the 9. I will do everything I can to care for you and to lead you well. I will have office hours on Thursdays from noon to 4. If you ever have questions, I like apples. I don't really like dragon fruit. If you want to bring me any snacks for my office hours. And I really look forward to getting to lead you all. For today, go back to your business, conduct life as normal, and if anything needs to change and as new rules get laid out, we will be here and announce them every morning at dawn if anything new needs to happen from this podium to a new and greater Miss Bache. And everyone cheers, a little confused because they don't actually know who she is, but they're all still kind of riding that high from your speech. And so Liv says, look, well, I guess Stagrim, Liv doesn't know where anything is. Stagrim looks to you guys and says, hey, we have some carriages that we can use. We can bring you guys back to your boat and start putting together a plan for how to get that thing rebuilt and back on its way, if that sounds good to you guys. Unless there's anything else that you needed from us, we'll go back to your boat and we can maybe help you guys get that put back together. We have some pretty good shipwrights here, and maybe we can get you at least seaworthy for a short journey, if that would be helpful. What do you guys think?
That would be good.
As Liv ends her speech, Ez is going to, I don't know how to describe it verbally for our podcasters, but peer into her mind, so to speak, and will cast message. And in her mind, he will say, and it would be his voice. So, like, if she recognizes his voice, she would know it's coming from him, depending on her, observancy. But he would say, I like your brain. Your leadership is what's going to bring these people forward. It is up to you to guide them to a brighter future, because I don't trust the other 8. And honestly, I don't know if you should either. But you're going to do great. Graw and I appreciate you and your brain. And then it's just going to end there.
I love that. I think that this is a world of magic, and she probably isn't totally freaked out by this. But for a moment, you paused after just saying, I like your brain. And there's a world in which she's just this regular fish person who just hears a voice all of a sudden in her mind that says, "I like your brain." And if that was all you had said, it would have been maybe the most terrifying thing that I could imagine happening to a person.
Right, she knows his voice, so
talking.
I'm like, okay, this won't freak her out because she knows Ez's voice. So like,
I'm just saying, can you imagine if you were just like doing your thing, you're working one day, and all of a sudden in your mind you hear a clear voice that just says, "I like your brain." It's like, what?
I mean, even if it's the voice of someone you know, it would creep me out if my husband's voice was suddenly inside my head going, "I like your brain." That would be uncomfy.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, it's a good point. But she responds to that pretty well, and she feels encouraged, and you hear her responding. A message allows her to respond too? Yeah?
No. It does not.
Oh. Well, she just kind of looks at you and nods. And so Stagrum takes you guys down to a carriage. It's drawn by some strange, kind of fishy-looking horses. And they take you guys back to your boat. As you guys approach the shore, can each of you roll perception for me?
Perception.
And what I need to know is that anyone rolls over a 20, modified 20.
I rolled a 21.
Does it have anything to do with smelling?
Right.
No, smelling would not give you an advantage here.
Oh, that's a 24.
That's a 5. So bad.
Okay. So Doc and Ghana, you guys, as you are approaching the shore, well, all of you notice that as you approach, your boat is sitting there floating in the bay, completely like it. If anything, it looks better than it did when you guys took off from Porto Luz. It looks immaculate. And it's just floating there. And but there's like one like piece of gilded, like the figurehead is still kind of laying there on the ground. It hasn't been reattached yet. And Ghana and Doc, you guys notice as you kind of come around the bend and see this, or at least it happens so quickly, you could swear this is what you see, but it happens so quickly you almost doubt it. You look and you see Rusty is over there right by your boat and is just finishing reattaching the figurehead on the front. And Rusty, obviously, as you guys know her, is kind of a smallish parrot, Aarakocra, kind of, like a humanoid bird. It's specifically a parrot, kind of an older lady. Not all of the characters will be older ladies, but she is one of the few that you guys have met so far. And but you notice by herself normally would not be strong enough to lift this big piece of metal, not tall enough to reach the front of the ship. But as you come around the corner, you see her, and it's like she has these big extendo Inspector Gadget arms and legs, like between where her hips meet her legs and where her shoulders meet her arms. Like these extension mechanisms are allowing her to reach out, and she has like all these gadgets and trinkets coming out of these Robo Go-Go Gadget arms that are allowing her to hold this figurehead in place and attach it back to the ship. And as you guys come around the corner, she turns around and sees you guys and does the final kind of wrench to lock it in, and then retracts all of her limbs. And it happens in like a split second. So quick that you guys are like, wait a minute, what did I just see? Maybe it was all just in my head. I don't know. And she's just standing there next to your boat. For everyone else, Polaris, as you guys just see Rusty standing there in front of your boat, looking at you guys a little bit surprised, but glad to see you. And you approach, and as you're getting closer, she's kind of shouting to you guys and saying, finally, you guys have come back. So glad you're here. The boat is ready for you guys to set sail. We could be off to Velcora like we were originally supposed to go. I don't know what took you guys so long, but you ready ready to go. Here we go. And she starts getting like climbing up on the ladder. She's like ushering you guys. Let's go. We got to be on our way to Velcora. Can't waste any more time.
As we'll start walking on over.
Did anyone else see that?
I think I saw something strange, yes.
Saw what?
But
Glad I'm not the only one.
It was as if she had mechanical spider legs that like was helping her. Rusty.
Yeah, nothing's going on up here. We're just getting back on the ship.
No. Tell me about your little. And I make all sorts of like hand grabby motions in different directions because okay, let me ask a question. Is this sort of technology, obviously not on the back of an Aarakocra woman, but is this kind of technology normal, or is this be something that Doc would not be familiar with at all?
Yeah, so in this world, and Polaris would be familiar with this, it's pretty rare. There's only like small schools of like really technologically advanced and really intelligent kind of cutting edge engineers who would know about this kind of mechanical robotics type engineering is very cutting edge. It only exists in some of the wealthiest and most innovative parts of the world. So I think you maybe once in a while encountered versions of like when you were in Twilight Reach earlier in your life, you might have encountered people that, I mean, you've been in Portaloose for like 100 years.
Right.
So back when you would have been to Twilight Reach, it was just early days. Maybe people had augmented, eyes or things like that. The rare person, but it's pretty rare, minimal exposure to anything like this.
It's very likely that this is the first time Doc has ever seen anything like this before.
Certainly anything to this extent.
Yeah. Okay. Your extra arms, where did they go?
She kind of hobbles back to the edge of the ship and looks down to you guys. She's like using her cane and really, really kind of gaming it up. And she's like, my wings. You're talking because wings, Aarakocra have arms, legs, and then their wings. You're talking about my wings? It's just how Aarakocra are. I guess if you've not met very many Aarakocra, I got wings and my arms and my legs, and a heart full of gumption to get out to Velcora. Here we go.
I'd like to, as after that inquiry and kind of like people saying they saw things they didn't, I would like to check to see how honest she was. I'd like to do a little bit of insight so that Ez might be able to get on the same page.
Yeah, you can roll for insight.
It's 21. Nice.
Oh, that's a pretty good insight check. You could tell that she is being not completely honest. That she's kind of that she's hiding something. Being a little bit guarded.
Ez is gonna, with a grin, again, kind of like, I need to find a better descriptor, but probe into her mind with message. I like you, but I don't like being lied to. And it's gonna just be in her head. And then I'll ask you later. I don't know if this pertains to now, but either way, that's what Ez would do.
Okay. Yeah. So she kind of looks at you, and I think with a 21 insight, you could tell she looks and she seems, the insight you would gain is that she's being guarded, but you don't sense that she's being, that she has any malintent toward you. If anything, you sense that she's a little bit fearful or cautious. And she just kind of looks at you, kind of recognizing what you said, and but unwilling to say anything, almost like she's unable to say anything, and just continuing to be like, alrighty, well, let's we should probably Set sail. Nothing else to do here with these. No offense to you, fish people, but this godforsaken island might as well. Literally, am I right?
Now
Anyway.
she's wearing a cloak. You said, right?
Literally.
No. She just has kind of like sailor style garb. So she's got her beautiful parrot multicolored feathers. She's got like a belt around her waist. She's got a little bit of like a piratey hat, and some like common pants. But yeah, just kind of sailor looking clothes, not like a big cloak or anything.
Okay.
Doc gets on the boat. I get on the boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say. While Liz gets on the boat,
he doesn't push this any further. Yeah.
He's gonna look at the party and kind of be like, I don't think she wants to tell us. I tried to. Yeah, she doesn't. I don't know if she can tell us. But yeah, as we get on the boat as well.
Why would
Here's kind
she
of
be
a-
able to tell us?
For what it's worth, I don't know if you can easily pull it up, but I put in our owlbear reference image just in case it's helpful to kind of remind ourselves what she looks like.
Let's see. I can get it up here. Come on.
Ghana, you were asking why wouldn't she be able to tell you?
Well, yeah, as said, I don't think she can tell us. So Ghana was like, why wouldn't she be able to tell us?
But Doc, as I think you guys were already getting on the boat.
Mhm.
Yep, I'm getting on the boat.
Same.
Yeah, everyone gets on.
Alrighty. So Stagram kind of looks at you guys, and you can see he's, and Liv, they both kind of come to trust you guys and like you guys, and they're like, wow, we thought we might have some time. We thought it was going to take maybe a week or two for you guys to get your ship fixed. We didn't. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for arriving here. This was so much more than we expected. We're in your debt. I'll tell you what, if you ever need anything, if you ever need help from, I know we're just a little island here and we're just some meek little fish people, but if you ever need our help and if we can ever do anything to serve you, holler for us. Maybe you can find a way to make that scrying pool work, and perhaps you can use that to reach back out to us. And Stagram realizes that the one they handed you was just kind of a regular little saucer of water that would probably be really hard to keep the water in. And he looks, and in kind of a moment of sentimentality, he reaches into his pocket and takes out his clam-shaped one that when it's closed creates like a watertight seal, and then when it's open, it has just the basic. It just has the basic functionality. It doesn't have some of the fancier features that our newer scrying pools have, but it's secure, it's durable, and you won't have to worry about all the water splashing out. I want you to take this. I've had it since I was just a kid. I got it when I was just a teenager, and I want you to have this. And he hands it to you, Ghana, so that you can maybe, if you can figure it out, I'll keep a scrying pool in my home, and if you can ever figure out how to activate it, you'll be able to reach back out to me maybe, and we'll be available to you guys if you ever are in real need. We'll try and make our way and do whatever we can to help you.
Thank you.
As that happens, you guys look over, and Rusty has already pulled up the anchor while you guys were looking away, and she's pulling the sails down. She's like, "Here we go, we're on our way," and the boat's starting to set sail to the southeast. You guys this island was kind of on the northern edge of what the known Velcoran Islands are, and you guys take off, and you are now setting sail back out to the waters. And she pulls out a map, and she shows you guys, and she says, "Look, I've been doing some work, and I think I figured it out. You can see here on the map, there's this open area where it's just north of Velcora. I'm almost sure that's where this island is, even though it's not shown on the map. So if we head straight kind of southeast here, we should arrive in the city of Vigorova. And so you guys, from the map, you can see the nation of Crespont is a large landmass, and the shore is on the east. So you go east from Crespont and you come out to Velcora, and it has kind of a large island that serves as kind of the front to these islands that usually most people would go to when they're coming here. And that's kind of the known center of trade and all of that stuff. But on the far northern edge of that island, she's pointing to, there's one small dock that's marked on the map. And it's this little town. This is kind of like you're coming in through the side door, so to speak, of this nation. She says, yeah, I'm familiar with this little city over here. It's a really quaint little city. They have a port there. And that's going to be the closest one, since these seas are so dangerous right now. That's going to be the safest path for us. So it should only take, by my calculations, I think just about a 2-day voyage to get there. And we'll be able to dock in Vigorova. And I can introduce you guys, as I mentioned, to my contact there. He kind of runs the place, and we can get you guys pointed in the right direction and on your way. I'll probably hang out in Vigorova. You guys can move on from there and be on your journey. We'll see you guys off and point you in the right direction and get you out of there as quick as possible. And hopefully you guys have great success. But otherwise, I'll be making myself busy keeping the boat going. And she kind of starts doing exactly that, making herself busy, helping with the boat as much as possible. She's clearly a pretty proficient sailor. And now that you guys are so close, you could tell she's got some extra energy in her step. She really seems excited to finally be getting back home. So you guys have a couple of days now. So some time to, as you are sailing to this new island and setting foot into Velcora proper, on your way there, you have some time if you have anything that you wanted to do or conversations you wanted to have with each other in the wake of this strange experience with the Kuotoa. You have some time for that. Or if you want to try to press Rusty a little bit more on her weird arm situation.
Anna would want to talk to Rusty.
Yeah, Ez would want to talk to Rusty about some other things as well.
Polaris is gonna go to Ghana at some point with her broken thieves' tools with kind of a sad face of like, do you know how to fix these?
Doc would want to talk to Ghana at some point.
Okay.
Popular man.
Yeah, well Ez doesn't want to talk to Ghana, so ha!
Let's start with we'll just do those one by one. So Ghana and Ez, you guys wanted to go and talk to Rusty. So Rusty is kind of below deck. She's just making herself busy, trying to prepare some things and really kind of make sure everything's tied down and safe. And so you guys find her there just kind of working away, and she doesn't even quite notice you guys as you approach.
Rusty, if you have a moment.
She kind of looks over her shoulder and sees you and, oh, the Loxodon. You know, I haven't met many of you in my life. There's not a whole lot of Loxodons out here in Velcora, and the only other one I ever met was that merchant leader back in Crespont. Yeah, what can I do for you? What do you need?
You seem to be quite skillful when sailing. Rather unusual for a bird that can simply fly rather than sail.
Well, you know, common misconception about us, Aarakocra. We can fly, but we can only fly so far. And whenever you go on long voyages, you know, multi-day, multi-week voyages, it can be exhausting. And even shorter voyages, it can be lonely. So I've made it my point in life. I've spent a lot of my life around boats and on boats. And, you know, when you spend that much time doing anything, you start to get good at it. So, yeah, Yeah,
Anna's just gonna kind of sit on the ground, like cross-legged, like almost like he's like listening to a story. He goes,
Yeah.
"You are not a normal Aarakocra, are you?"
Oh, normal. Things in Velcora haven't been normal for anyone, and well, since Velrath. So, I suppose not. Many of the Aarakocra in Velcora have had to. Life has looked pretty different for us these past several decades, to say the least. She kind of trails off and seems like she maybe is reluctant to talk much more about it. Seems like a painful subject for her.
Is it dangerous? Should I be worried? I'm just a kid.
Oh, danger, I suppose, is relative. You guys, I remember you guys saying you were chasing after that lich, right?
Sure.
Yes. Speaking of which, we found you as a stowaway. You said you were stuck in Crespont for quite a while and simply wanted to return home.
Mm-hmm.
We did not force you to leave. We are providing you transport. We seem to have had some hiccups along the way, but we are still willing to transport you home free of charge. So allow me to ask for a form of payment for the transport in information.
She seems a little bit uncertain. She looks a little bit guarded, like anyone who maybe is, had a tough past and doesn't love talking about it. She's a little bit hesitant. She's like, you know what? You're right. You guys are helping me get home for free. I've been trying for a few years to get back home, and I'm grateful. You guys have been kind. I'll try and tell you whatever I can. Just know there's certain things that I'm not necessarily at liberty to share, but I do know a little bit about this lich, and I know a bit about Velcora, and I'm grateful for you guys getting me home to Vigorova. So, what did you want to know?
What I want to know is why there are certain things you cannot share.
Look, I was in Porto Luz long enough to learn. You guys have your king, Aelric, and he rules, and there's certain things you can and can't do, and if you question the king or if you rebel against the king in certain ways, there's consequences to those kinds of things. And I suppose the same is true in Velcora. Velrath is praised for his ability to keep us all safe and squash rebellions, and he rules with an iron fist of safety. And
is the lich your king?
No, Velrath is the king. The lich is like his muscle, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's part of why it was so strange to see it. There's been healthy relationship between Velcora and Crespont for so long. I don't know if it escaped or if it went rogue, but the legends in Velcora have been, if you ever do something, if your city fails to meet your quotas, if people try to rebel or push back against Velrath in any major way, you could expect the Lich and his army of undead to visit and crush that rebellion or force that taxation swiftly. We don't quite know how Velrath controls it or why, but that's why I'm hesitant to talk about too much, because they don't necessarily deal especially gracefully or mercifully with anyone that they might perceive as a traitor. And of course, I would never betray them anyway. Of course, Velreth has done so much good for us and has made our country strong and safe, and we're extremely grateful for everything he's done. And so I would never speak ill of him and the Lich anyway.
Ez is going to look over at Ghana, and he's going to put his finger on his shoulder, and he's going to cast message into Ghana's mind, and he's going to be like, "Hi, Ghana. This is Ez.
Like you're leaving a voicemail."
I can find the answers you want. Not the best way of doing it, but I can. Just tell me. Say, Ez, what did you have for lunch? And I'll find the answers in her mind.
This is like the equivalent of Glorb taking out his like torture like pliers or whatever and being like,
"Oh my gosh."
I want as if someone looking at you right now, are you saying this with any level of
he's dead
excitement?
Straight face. Dead straight face.
Okay, so
Like,
you're
it's
not
hard-
necessarily
it's hard
saying this
to-
with like,
So, because he doesn't want her to know that he is messaging somebody, because he doesn't know if she has magical abilities, so he doesn't want her, if she's understands magic, to know what he's doing. So he is trying to keep a straight face. So, I mean,
I
if
guess
someone tried to
internally,
see
do you feel
through
like
it-
Ez is a little? Are
Oh,
you Ez kind of hoping that he'll get a chance to do this, or maybe just a part of
Ez-
him is?
So part of Ez is hoping to be able to utilize some of his newly awakened powers to push the boundaries of what he can do with someone's mind. But it's a very small amount, because the majority of it he's thinking, I can help Ghana. So
Yeah.
it's this kind of twisted
A reluctant
mindset
help.
right, like, I can help you. I want to help you because you are Ghana. But also then there's that like primordial kind of like enjoyment of, but I also then get to almost exert this power over someone's mind at the same time.
Yeah, it's like little kids with snails. It's like mostly I'm just so curious about why this happens when I put some salt on it, but also there's like that weird part of this like, yeah, okay. So go ahead, Ghana.
So Ghana hears him and doesn't really do anything to acknowledge. Like, he hears it, but looks at Rusty. When we were boarding the ship, myself and Doc noticed something about Doc said something about appendages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, extra arms.
Extra arms.
We noticed something. Now, I am not going to ask you to explain why or how you did it, but I will ask, why, if it is a secret, would you risk using them where we would see them?
You can see she looks very kind of insecure in this moment and very.
He's making it known that, like, we know you're lying. We saw what you did. He's not asking her to like reveal what she has, but he's just asking, why would she even risk it? Like, why would she use it if she's trying to keep it a secret?
Yeah, as you say that, as you're starting that conversation, she seems very guarded and very kind of unsure at first. But as she realizes that you're not going to force her to explain everything, she relaxes just a little bit. And she says, look, not that I have anything to hide, but, you know, if someone had some extra mechanical, you know, tools at their disposal that might help them repair a boat, and hypothetically, if that person didn't know where their companions were or when they might return or how much time they had, I suppose such a person might use those mechanical tools to try to get the work done as quickly and as effectively and efficiently and excellently as possible, so that whenever their companions did return, they'd have a boat that was ready to go. And maybe they didn't know people would be coming back so soon. Again, all hypothetical, because I certainly don't have anything to hide, and I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Ez is gonna walk up and kind of like touch her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I used to not tell people about Graw. Because Graw is something that people would dismiss because I'm a kid, or wouldn't believe me, would laugh at me, scoff. But you know, as we are, sometimes those things that people don't understand or scoff at, they do it because they don't understand or they're scared. But I can assure you, you called us your companions, and that means that we are something to you. So, if we're something to you, we would be there, no matter what oddity it might be. Like, I have Graw. Graw's awesome. He's my best friend. But I know that if you, as my companion, won't scoff at me for that, or think I'm weird, or not trust me for it. So, it's safe here. You can tell us. And he's kind of trying to seed persuasion into this conversation.
Yeah.
To open up.
Go ahead and roll for persuasion to see how she responds to that.
Ooh, 13. Rough.
She looks at you and she says, "This Graw that you mentioned, and she, she's pretty insightful. She looks and says, was he born from, maybe not born from, did he come to you in a time of pain and through great difficulty, and maybe some painful memories associated with when Graw first kind of came to you?"
Graw saved my life. He wasn't from a memory. He's from the forest. And Ez kind of like goes from like kind of the curious, persuasive kid to like almost a deadpan straight face. Marauders took my mom, and they would have killed me, but Graw ran through the forest, and the Marauders didn't get the chance. So if it weren't for Graw, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. But Graw's my best friend, and it's not a memory. Graw is you might not have heard the term, but us wood elves, we have this word in common. We call them the whispers of the forest, and they're protectors. There's whispers for wrath. There's whispers for protection. There's whispers for healing. There's whispers for growth. But they all do different things. But for those that aren't wood elves, they don't understand that. They just think I'm spewing some religious mumbo jumbo. But they are real, and these whispers are. I'd be dead if it wasn't for Graw. But not everybody believes me. But that's okay. Because unfortunately, there will always be those that they don't agree with us or like us or believe us. But if that shows you anything, I know that there's nothing you have that I won't understand.
Yeah. So Rusty says, so you'll understand. Sometimes it can take some time, and when something happens to you, and again, I'm not saying anything did, but when something happens to you that happens and it causes you a great deal of pain, it's not always something that you are quick to want to talk too much about. And so I appreciate you guys being here for me. I appreciate you guys helping me get to Vigorova, and if there's anything you need to know about Velrath and the Lich, where to find them, how to get to them. Of course, I'm happy to help as much as I can and give you as much information as I can. If there's anything you need to know, but consider me your faithful guide and envoy, emissary, ambassador, whatever you want to call me. Any other kind of final questions there? Or we'll be able to then maybe transition, see what Doc and Polaris wanted to talk to Ghana about.
Yeah, that was enough. He's pretty sure he'll get the information at some point.
Yeah. Great. So I think at that moment, Doc, Polaris, you guys kind of come down. You were looking for Ghana. And Polaris, I think you were just hoping that he might be able to help you with your thieves' tools that you had damaged trying to break out of the cell.
Yep, she's gonna take him to Ghana, and I mean we've been around each other for weeks at this point with the boats trips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna, and then because Ghana kind of helped her on the boat a lot on the original voyage, so she goes to Ghana like, can you fix these? They broke in the jail cell door.
Oh, sure. Let me take a look. As he's looking at the pic. What else do you use these for? As he's giving you a side eye.
Opening doors?
Do you have to open doors that you don't have keys to often?
Who doesn't? I'm an investigative journalist, Ghana. What do you expect from me? I'm not a paragon of virtue like yourself. The truth is often behind a locked door.
Ain't that the truth?
Hez knows all about that.
Ghana's going to channel some magic and just like put the two pieces together and magically weld them back together. He goes, please do not get yourself into trouble.
No promises. I got 9 lives though, don't worry.
And then Doc, you mentioned you had something you wanted to talk to Ghana about.
Yeah, so Doc comes up and I come up and I sit next to Ghana and I seem not nervous, but just trying to figure out how to approach this situation. Ghana and Doc in their previous encounters wouldn't have had any sort of they never would have fought something together, correct?
No, I don't think so. I think that they did some sailing, some exploration of the sea. Maybe never had to actually go into like combat together though. Until this journey.
Now. So then I'd sit down and I would say, Ghana, I think you and I need to come to get on the same page when it comes to dealing with difficult circumstances. Open mind here. Open mind. You're worshiper of Ioun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Worshiper of Ioun. I know you want peace and knowledge. I get it. Why were you hiding in the ring so long?
It was only about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a long 2 hours for me, though. I was just a little frustrated that we're in the middle of all of this turmoil and you're just hiding from it.
I was not hiding. I should probably explain a bit more about how the ring works. The ring is my vessel. I have made a contract with a Marid. It is a water genie of the ocean. It gives me the ability to designate a vessel that I can travel into. However, I can only do so once a day. And I can only stay in that vessel for a certain amount of time. When we used it for the performance, once I come out, I cannot go back in. When I heard what was going on, and I heard that you were captured, I knew if I had come out, I probably would have only caused you more trouble, as they would ask where I came from. I thought it was best for me to remain inside and only come out in a dire situation. Luckily, that did not happen. I heard your plan for the performance, and I found the opportunity to come out that was most beneficial.
I would sit there and listen to that, and eventually just say, all right, I will trust I trust the judgment of what you can do. Trust the fact that if things truly were dire, that you would not leave us in a lurch. And he just drops it.
So it's been a long day. You guys have had a chance to kind of connect with each other, inquire a little bit more about Rusty and about each other, get some of your tools fixed. And you guys set your heads down to rest and get some sleep as you guys are approaching this new strange island. Polaris, you still have that book about engineering and mechanics, and maybe as you've been hearing all of this about Rusty, it inspires you to go back and read a bit more before you go to sleep. And you've been reading for part of your time on the way here and now again on this voyage. And some of the things that you learned back during your brief time in the engineering academy, and now as you've been rereading this book and experiencing everything you've experienced, something about it starts to click. And so as you have leveled up and you're starting to learn more about being an artificer, something in this book is starting to click, and you start to realize maybe just a little bit of a deeper understanding of how you might be able to start making basic mechanical contraptions and kind of how they work. Ghana, as you go to sleep, you find yourself in a dream. And in this dream, the Marid appears, and you have a moment where we don't need to kind of roll the whole thing out, but basically the Marid expresses its gratitude to you, Nemo. He expresses his gratitude to you for the aid that you've offered this island of fish people. He cares deeply about them, and while they weren't the primary focus of your journey, he's grateful that you helped free them from their self-imprisonment. And as a form of gratitude, in this dream, he gives you a gem that serves as a map of the stars that gives you some unique new magic. And he also just kind of helps you understand some magic that you maybe already had. But so he gives you that. And just like the dream you had during your session 0, an emissary of the Wild Mother is there too, a treant. And it talks to you, and it is also grateful that you guys are on this journey. And as a form of gratitude and as a boon to help you on your journey, it reveals some deeper new knowledge to you about how to transform into various creatures from the wilderness that you've seen. And so through the boons of those creatures, you now have some new magic abilities as well. Doc, as we've mentioned, you've just been working, trying to break off some of the rust. As you've been just kind of working these abilities and finding that as you're using them more and more and interrogating people and getting into combat, you're kind of finding that the way that you and Gra work together is really starting to come to shape in ways that are kind of unexpected for you. And so you guys are going to sleep. It's night. And as the sun rises on...
Hey guys, my name is Mark and I'm the lead pastor at Lux Digital Church. I hope you're enjoying the D&D campaign, the show today. I hope you're having a great time hanging out with the entire crew. And I also wanted to tell you that over in our Discord server, we have an ongoing Dungeons & Dragons West Marches style campaign. That means you can jump in and play at any time that is convenient for you, as long as there's a game being offered with a variety of different dungeon masters and players. We have games that are posted every single month that you can join in with, starting at level 1 and going the whole way up through level 15 in D&D in the new 2024 5th edition rules. If you're interested in joining in and playing some D&D with us, all you have to do is join our Discord server at discord.gg/luxdigitalchurch, and then go ahead and grab the D&D rule, slide down inside of the channels to the Play D&D section. You can look there and find different videos on character creation, different elements of the world that we're playing in, and then you can submit your character and jump in and adventure off of the guild board soon. Once again, I hope you've been enjoying the show and the live stream, and we hope to see you over in the Lux Discord to play D&D with us very soon.